Welcome to Ghost Hunting, getting started. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome and thank you. I'm Tim Ardenwine. I'm a retired paramedic turned ghost hunter and author. Currently, I'm the case manager and investigator for War Party Paranormal and co founder of Ghostly Experiences Inc. Now, this week, we're going to be talking about EMFs. What's EMF? EMF means electromagnetic fields. And what they are is they're low frequency electrical fields that are invisible, so you don't see them, but they're everywhere. Now, on your meters, you'll see the letters mg. They're measured in milligauss. And the safe range is 0.5 to 2.5. Anything above that is considered a spike. So if you're doing a baseline reading and you get anything above 2.5, document it in case you run into it during the investigation. If you get a spike during the investigation, just start being aware of what's around. Somebody feeling something or other instruments going off, things like that. Now, like I said, they're invisible and they're everywhere. So if you're outside, you can get EMF spikes during thunderstorms. You get them under power lines, transformers. Around your house outside, you can get them through pool motors, spa motors. Now, inside the house, there's a lot of things that can trip you up. There's a lot of items that will spike EMFs. Things like breaker boxes, AC handlers, halogen fluorescent lights, computers, routers, cable boxes, cordless phones, appliances. And don't forget these. These will drive them crazy, your smartphones. So during an investigation, if you can't turn your phone off, at least put it somewhere. Put it on silent, put it somewhere out of the way, one of your pockets, something like that. And if you start getting spikes, look around the area. Maybe someone put a phone on the table or somewhere where you are. Because, a lot of investigators now are using phone apps for certain things, like using a phone app during a portal session. So just always be aware if there's one around that can be giving you the EMF spikes. Now, what does this all have to do with ghosts? Well, the theory is that ghosts will manifest by drawing energy from surrounding area, okay? And then they'll make their own EMF field. That's why sometimes you'll hear investigators say, "Oh, my batteries are drained," or, "I fried the battery on my video already." They're going to draw energy from wherever the area is, okay? Now, high EMF spikes don't mean a ghost. Remember, on an investigation, you're there to gather evidence. Now, your EMF spikes and any readings off your EMF meters, that's just part of the evidence. You got to use it in conjunction with something else. If you're getting EMF spikes and you ask someone, do they have any feelings? Someone might say, "I have a cold spot," or there's a funny smell, or other instruments are going on. Remember, all your tools you're bringing together to compile a body of evidence that there might be some activity. So that's what EMFs are. They're not ghosts. They're just part of the evidence. Okay. Now, the reason you do baseline readings is exposure to high EMFs for a prolonged time. It'll play with your head. You can have a feeling of fear. A feeling you're being watched, or you're not alone in the room, or you could think you saw a shadow, or you're hearing something that's unexplained. For me personally, I get nauseous if there's a high EMF field. Okay? So it's those things that will just drive you crazy. And it's something, if you can figure that out in a baseline, maybe you can figure out what the problem is. Not everything, like I said before, not everything's paranormal. Okay? For instance, I've been doing this a long time. And every now and then I'll get some new tool that some person developed that they want me to test out. Well, this one time I got something called an EMF pump, and they're pretty new to the field. And what they do is you turn them on, and they literally will pump up the EMF in the immediate area. Because if there's something around, they have more energy to draw off of. That's the theory behind it. Now, this isn't the one I tested, but this is what we use. It's called an EMF pump. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. I don't know if you can hear the vibration, but if you put it down somewhere and it's on, you hear the vibration? Now, if you're trying to do an EVP session and you hear that vibration, it's really going to contaminate everything. So, I mean, if I do use one, I use it before the session starts. I might put it on a few minutes before we go in the room, just to draw up the EMF to see if we can get something else coming out. And I'll show you. This is a K meter, as you know. We've talked about this before. Okay, see, it's not that bad right now, but see, it's drawing out the EMF. It's a millimeter. We've talked about this before. Okay, if you see that. Now it's up to 120. Remember, 2.5 is the maximum for safe. So these things do work. But the funny thing, the guy sent me it. His new development of it was basically it was silent. There was no vibration. Some of them will actually you hear a boom, boom, boom. So it was silent. So it was good during EVP sessions. And it had a little toggle switch, and there was a baby light. Just a little tiny light to let you know it's on. So I got it. I opened the box. I put it down on my desk, and then I got distracted and had to leave for 15, 20 minutes. But when I came back in the office, I felt like crap. It just felt heavy, and I was real nauseous. And then I looked down, and I saw the light. And I realized, oh my God, I left this thing on for 20 minutes. So I left, the office again for like 20 minutes, let it air out a bit, and everything was fine. So prolonged EMF, high EMFs, it'll mess with your head. Okay? So what is an EMF detector? Well, I showed you the K meter. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, turn it on. And if we turn it, you'll notice things light up like I showed you. That was not working. Oh, turn on too. Okay, so see how it lights up. There's different readouts for these meters. Like the K meter obviously is a light up readout. You'll see it goes from 0 to 20 plus. Okay. The millimeter, we've talked about this before too. It has, this is the top numbers for the milligauss or, EMF. There's also a temperature. And this particular unit has what we call a RIM pod, and we'll talk about that at another time. Okay? So all these things do, remember, they don't detect ghosts. That's rule 1. They don't detect ghosts. All they do is detect EMF changes. And you're looking for spikes. Okay? If you got spikes, you figure out what's going on around you. If there's something you can, add to the evidence with it. Okay? If the spike goes down, then either you've moved away from what was causing it, or the activity has died out. Okay? Now, a lot of people will use the millimeter as stationary. They'll put it down on a bed or a desk or something in the area. Because what they want to do is, if the EMF is going off, that's a good thing. But this thing has other purposes that we'll really get into down the road. But you can always say, listen, if you're here, come near the antenna, the lights go on, the little alerts go off. Okay. They'll lay these down. These are kind of stationary for EMFs and the other functions it does. Now, most people will carry a K meter with them, because you can shove one in your pocket. You can carry them to any. My bad. You can carry them to you when you're doing EVP sessions. A lot of investigators will use this with EVP sessions. Like if you're, and when you're asking questions for the K meter, it can't be what color's your hair. It has to be yes or no. Like, are you a man? Did you work here? Did you die here? Things like that. So during an EVP session, you can actually say, are you a man? And if it lights up, But see, rule 2, especially with the K meter, is I'm a big believer of confirmation. I never take the first time it lights up. I always want to ask, can you do that again? Or I'll re-ask the question. Are you a man? So you're a man. So if it lights up twice, then you can build on it. Remember, you're always building on your questions to start the conversation. Are you a man? Can you do it again? Good. Did you work here? Oh, so you worked here. If it lights up twice, then you build on it. Did you die here? Can you do that again, please? If it lights up, then you got confirmation. So remember, all you're ever doing is building on the conversation, and these will help. Okay. So if you're doing during that EVP session, you're asking the questions, you're getting a response, but you also might be getting voice responses. You can just throw in something, since you're recording and you're building a conversation, then you can throw in something like, well, what was your name? Or, did you die in the fire? If it lights up, yes, I did. Yes. Light it up again. Yes. Okay. Then you can ask on the EVP, where did you die in the fire? It's just, all these things is just a way for you to build a conversation. Now, remember, they're not ghost detectors. I hear that a lot. All they're going to do is check spikes and things like that for you. And they're just part of your tools to gather evidence. So the EVP tonight comes from the Red Lane Hotel. Actually, it's very recent, from Saturday. We went down there and we were fortunate enough to do a podcast with Vivian from the Dead Hours. And we had a blast with it. Thanks, Vivian. This one actually I did before the investigation. Now, I've been doing the Red Land for years and years, and I don't always get in every room. And this room 208, I haven't been in quite a while. But we had the whole team coming down, and some of them haven't been there yet. So I wanted to see what rooms were active. So I was doing some EVPs in some rooms I haven't been in. And I asked the question, like, is someone here? And I think it said, you're out of line. But, listen to it. Let me know what you think. 'Cause remember, I always tell you have hearing matrix. You might hear something completely different. Send in comments what you think it said. Send them into Long Hair Ghost Hunter, SOFL, the Facebook. Send them into Ghost Hunting Getting Started at gmail.com. That's the email, obviously. Or send them right into the channel. And let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing your comments. Okay, an announcement. For those of you in South Florida or anybody down here traveling, August 29th, we're going to be at the Yesteryear Village, where the infamous Riddle House is. We're going to be up there doing a public investigation, what I call an interactive investigation, because the guests get to actually investigate with us. We're going to be August 29th from 8 till 10. Now, you can look up southfloridafair.com for any information, tickets, and things like that. But we always have a good night at that place. There's 4 or 5 locations that are active right there. And we always get some good stuff. So come on out if you can. I'd love to meet you guys, and come down and say hi to the team. All right? Now, next week, we're going to be talking about, we're going to get into the tools, finally. But we're going to start easy. We're going to start with the infrared thermometers. They're a big part of your toolkit, but they're pretty basic. But you're going to be surprised how many tools also have thermometers. There are multiple tools. So you don't have to carry around so many tools. So that should be good. We're going to go over, a bunch of the different items. So I appreciate everything you guys do. And if you subscribe, thank you so much. If you like the journey we're on, ghost hunting, getting started, subscribe, please. And please check out the book on Amazon, Ghost Hunting, Getting Started. So if you're going out ghost hunting, please be safe, be careful, and good luck. And if you want to share your evidence with me, please do, send it in, and we'll give you some feedback on it. So videos on Tuesday. If, still restrictions on our locations, most of them. If I get out there, I like to do a live show there. At least when we start getting into the tools, I want to do the tool shows from locations so we can do them live, a demonstration. So I will announce those either here or on Facebook. So thanks again for everything. And you guys be safe, and we'll see you next week. All right, guys. This is the EVP we're going to do for tonight. This is from the Red Line Hotel. This is actually from Saturday night, this past Saturday night. This is a room called 208. I haven't been in this room in a long time. So I went in there before we started investigating to do some pre-investigation EVPs. And I caught this. In the beginning, it's me asking a question. And then you'll hear, I want you to listen to it, then I'm going to tell you what I think it hears. We'll analyze it.
Is somebody in here with me? Is somebody in here with me?
Now, like I said before, this is me talking. Okay. And once again, I've told you before, this is up here because I accidentally had my volume too high when I was recording. Now, this one over here, I think it says you're out of line. So let's listen to it again and see what you think.
Is somebody in here with me?
I hear the you're, and then like out of, then line. So let's try it again. Now maybe he was a little upset that I was even asking questions. But that's our EVP, and what do you guys think? So write in, let me know. Send your comments into ghosthuntinggettingstarted@gmail.com. Send it into the Facebook, Long Hair Ghost Hunter SOFL, or send it right into the channel. So we're going to listen to it one more time and just let me know what you think.